elevate. They're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, that's why I couldn't levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. When you elevate, they're stacking up losses, I'm handing.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Mindset Cafe podcast. It's your boy Devin, as always, and today we actually have a special guest, Valery Loera. Oh, man, what's the last name? Loera. I told her on the way here that I was trying to practice her last name, and she said that everyone gets it wrong, and of course, I just got it wrong as well. But I wanted to bring Valery on the podcast today because not only is she a serial entrepreneur, she is also in the fitness space, and she is a young entrepreneur that is definitely bringing up other individuals around her. So I'm excited to bring her on the podcast with you guys, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule.
Of course.
So let's dive in a little bit. What got you into the entrepreneur space? Like, what was your first step becoming an entrepreneur? Between the restaurant, between the gym, like you have so many things going on, but like, what was your growing up like that led you to be an entrepreneur?
So I've thought about it, and I realize now that I've been shown like that entrepreneurial side like since I was little. Pretty much, my dad's had his business, his iron business for 40 years now. My mom was selling, whether it was clothes, it was cosmetics, it was like nutritional stuff. Like she's been selling stuff, honestly, for a very long time. And we joke honestly as like my siblings, like she could sell you a pen. She could sell you anything. Like my mom is just a seller. She had her own nail salon for a while too. And then even back home in Mexico, where my parents are from, I have a family who like has like meat shops, has like restaurants, they have liquor stores, different stuff like that. So now I see it, it's almost like this is kind of like what I was destined to do. Like I was just like, okay, growing up, I was almost like, okay, like what business am I going to open when I'm older? Or like, and I always had different ideas. So it was almost just like, okay, what am I going to do now?
So with you growing up, like, did you see, well, you saw your mom doing all those different things, but like your dad, you said, has had his business for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So did that have like a toll on you? Because I mean, that's a long time to have a business. Like, as you know now too, like business is tough, and
Yes.
have a business for more than 10 years, let alone 40 is ridiculous. That's awesome. But do you think like growing up and seeing him be his own boss where he's not answering anyone, like have a push, for you guys to go this route yourself?
Yeah, 1,000%. I feel like early on I was like, I want to be a teacher. I want to do this, different stuff. I always wanted to be a firefighter too. I don't know why, but then you start seeing like, it's like those roles, you have to be there at a certain time and there's not really a way around it. And also, unfortunately, there's just like a cap in terms of money. And with my dad, I feel like, no, he's blossomed so much. I mean, he did everything from recycling when he barely got here from Mexico, to like selling corn, to helping like the other family members, like with their businesses. And it's like, he was just had a little dream of just being his own boss. Cause he was like, I just want to run my own business, help others, and make my own money. And again, have my own schedule. And so to see him do it and to see him succeed, I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And yeah, I just went for it.
It's crazy because like I actually wanted to do the whole firefighter route thing too.
Okay.
And I was going through the process, and I actually got suspended from college, for the whole fraternity life and everything.
Wow.
But when I did, I got suspended for 2 years. I started my personal training journey and stuff. And it almost like kind of set me on a path of like learning that too, where I'm making just as much as I would if I was going the firefighter route right now. So I'm going to go back to school and do this paramedic route, which no knock on that whatsoever. It's an amazing career, but it just wasn't me. I was like, I just don't see it. And that was like that click for me. What was your first step into becoming an entrepreneur? Like, was it working for your parents, or did you work as an employee somewhere else and then realize, like, I can't do this?
Yeah. So it was, I would say both. I did work at the YMCA for a while during college, and same thing. Like it was just like I had specific hours that I had to work, and I had no way out. Otherwise, I wouldn't get paid, and I just didn't like that. Yeah. And then also, I mean, you just don't get credit for what you do, no matter what. I mean, I always treated all the clients well, and I feel like I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed working in general, but I had a lot of other people that just didn't enjoy their job. A lot of different coworkers and stuff like that, and I was like, why are you here if you don't enjoy your job? So it kind of just led me into thinking, okay, like I want to have a space where people actually enjoy their job, where everyone actually like comes in and is having a good time. And when I graduated college, that's when I started working for my dad, started handling little by little more and more things. I now do payroll, accounts payable. I do pretty much all the like in-office stuff for his business. And same thing, it just like felt nice knowing that I was like, okay, like I'm running this, I can always do more, which means I can get paid more. And then also just having a team under me, it feels nice.
So for your dad's company though, with you doing all this stuff behind the scenes, did you have to do any like sales work, or did he teach you how to sell anything like that as well?
You know what he did? My dad was really good about when we were siblings, when we were smaller, he took us to work. He was like, okay, like when we were younger, my siblings and I, he was like, you're either going to work with your mom because she got a nail salon, or you're going to work with me. Like during the weekends, summertime or whatever like that. So I didn't really like the cosmetic stuff, the nail salon stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm going to work with my dad. So he did. He took me on many like sales jobs when he would go out to do estimates, stuff like that. And I saw it all. I really saw it all. I saw him, the way he like took care of his customers, clients, whatever. And the relationships he built more than anything. And a lot of the workers also that he has today were workers that started with him literally 40 years ago, which is insane. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, we might celebrate like someone's like 50th anniversary soon.
Wow.
So again, I feel like those things like really were just like, okay, like it just all clicked again too. I was like, I want to do this. I don't know where I want to go with it, but I know I want to run my own business.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was that next step then for you? You know, your sister's your business partner,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what was that next step for you from, going on the job estimates and all that kind of stuff to, taking that first step into your own business with your sister?
Yeah. So in terms of that, we were both working together at my dad's business as soon as I graduated college. And then we were saving up money. We were like, okay, what do we want to do? We always had talks, and we would go on and on about, okay, we've always wanted a coffee shop. And we were like, we really want a coffee shop. We would also love a workout studio. In general, I think my sister and I just love community, and we just love being around people that we love and we enjoy. So we were like, okay, things like that are always going to bring the people we love around us. So we were like, okay, we literally brought up a whole business plan, thought up of the name, thought up of everything for our coffee shop. So we were like so set on having a coffee shop. And then lo and behold, out of nowhere, like a family member comes and just like pretty much tells us there's an opportunity to open up a Mexican restaurant. The place was already there, and it was already established. It was it was running for 20 years. And then the family just couldn't do it anymore. So they kind of were just like offering the space for pretty cheap. And we kind of were just like, okay, well, maybe we should do this instead of starting from nothing. Because I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but even just a little coffee shop that you think is like tiny is really, really expensive to, one, like start running, and then two, actually making profit to pay for not only rent, but also employees, and then make stuff like that. Like, it's a little hard. So we were like, okay, well, maybe if we do this, we just thought like, okay, if we can run this restaurant within like a year or two, then we can jump into our coffee shop and it'll just all make sense.
Right.
So that's kind of how it happened. And then here I am 4 years later.
I mean, it's cool though, because like I've had this conversation with a few people before,
Mm-hmm.
and what you said actually resonates with me too, because it's one of those things where you could write out a business plan, right? And it never goes according to the plan,
Yeah.
right? So for my gym, for your for your restaurant and your coffee shop,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everything is good in theory,
Yeah.
right? But there's things like that you don't take into consideration,
Mm-hmm.
payroll taxes, all the other random little things that you're like, yeah, these numbers make sense. And then you start actually hitting the ground running. You're like, wow, these numbers don't make sense
Nope.
whatsoever. But it is true that, life does happen in certain ways, right?
Yeah.
So you're presented an opportunity and you jumped on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it turned out to be, amazing. Like,
blessing. Oh my gosh, a blessing in disguise for sure.
because you guys are talking and looking for almost a second location,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's one of those things where that was never even the original game plan.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that you can't necessarily open a coffee shop and do all that kind of stuff still. But if you're in the mindset of looking for opportunities and you're looking for growth in any avenue, opportunities like that will present themselves.
Exactly, no,
right?
for sure.
So with that, like, what is your view on, since you wanted to, I'll say it this way, since you wanted to do a coffee shop,
Yeah.
right? If you don't open a coffee shop before your second or your third or your fourth restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
is that okay with you? Or are you the kind of person that I need to open a coffee shop just to say I have a coffee shop. Some people are like that.
No, correct. Absolutely not. No. If the opportunity comes and I can open up a Mexican restaurant, I will 100% do it just because I already have the plan. Like I already have the base. I already have a good team that can even also train other people. So it would just make sense. So in terms of, and it's not just about money, but it really is, what would make more profit? Yes. But it's also just like, how do you say it? What makes more sense? That's the only way I can put it. Like, it's like, yes, I want my coffee shop, but I have to be very smart about it. And I've thought, I will not settle until I found the absolute perfect location for my coffee shop. And again, rent, that makes sense. So I have to be very smart. So again, if I find a place and it's like better or more suitable for a restaurant, then I'm just going to jump in and do the restaurant. And
that's huge though, because a lot of people will jump the gun.
You're right. Yeah.
And, either rent a space or open a coffee shop just because they found an open spot. And it's like, if you would have just waited, and made sure that everything was, not everything's gonna be perfect always, but one of those things where don't just go off of emotion, right?
Oh, 100%.
So that's huge that you have that realization of I need to make sure that these things are right before I do make that step.
Yeah.
And if it's not my next step, as long as I know I will do it, it's not a matter of if, it's just when. That's a huge, because not a lot of people like that,
Yeah.
A lot of people are all off of emotion. So what, you said the restaurant that you guys took over, the family had it for 20 years. Mm-hmm. When you guys took it over, I'm assuming that they were struggling, right? Mm-hmm. So what allowed you to take that same location and basically take it from a struggling restaurant to a successful restaurant? Now you're looking for a second location.
Yeah. That restaurant, again, 20 years, that says a lot. It's if a place can be open for that long and it was really well known by the community. Also, key to anything, I would say, is location. It's right next to In-N-Out. It is on a busy street. It's on Foothill Boulevard. So ideally, we were no matter what, this can be missed. Mm. This place, it has potential. You just have to put the work in it.
Right.
And it did happen because it was we took, I believe, 3 months to open. Because we were furnished a little bit, put our new name on it or whatever. But everyone knew that this was a local spot. We did also look at financials, so that helped too, just because we were working with the previous owner. And we saw the numbers, and the numbers made sense. 100%. So we were just why not? I think with anything, it's just the worst that can happen is that you fail. But it's what if we succeed and open 5 more of these? Right? So we just went in with that mindset, and here we are now. So
did you guys rebrand it, or was that the original name, or how did that go about?
So it was, we kept it a Mexican restaurant, still Mexican food, but we did rebrand it completely. Yeah, we were just we want to do our own thing, want to open up a whole new menu, which was also hard just because so many people are so used to same old.
Right.
But yeah, as of now, it's been nice because it's just a whole new introduction we pretty much put a new taste, I say, on Mexican food. It's way more fresher and stuff like that. So people are enjoying it now.
Yeah.
It took a little longer, obviously, but no, it's been nice now. People are fans.
But that's cool. That was at least it was a community spot, and now it's the new community spot.
Exactly.
Even though it's the same exact spot, right? You made it fresh. You changed up the food a little bit, and changed the name, rebranded. Yeah. So now it's not what the old spot was and everything. It's your spot, right? Mm-hmm. So what you seeing your dad and everything like that, and you growing up around entrepreneurs, your dad and your mom, you learned skills from them and watching them, right? Yeah. But have you taken any courses, or when you went to school, I believe you said you did business in college, right? So what did you do to allow you to build the systems and processes to allow you to scale your business, but also to become a leader? Because not a lot of people have that mindset of just becoming a leader.
For sure. I would say I've been a leader since I was small, honestly. I've always been very bossy, very competitive, with sports, with anything. I was 4th grade president, and I was having meetings with the principal. I've always been like this. So I think that also has a good, and I think it comes from my parents as well. Just because my dad, I've seen him be the boss since I was tiny. And my mom too. My mom's always been even when she had her nail salon, or when she was doing her cosmetology stuff, I just noticed with her too, she was just she was never the worker. She was always just okay, I'm going to provide the space, and you you work for me or you give me a profit. So I kind of saw it from them. I did go to school for business management with a specialization in entrepreneurship. And in college, I would say I learned more in like little clubs that we had, just because there were spaces where people could just pitch their ideas, and if someone liked it, like someone would invest in it.
Yeah.
So I think I learned more there just because I saw that pretty much like the opportunities are endless, and also ideas. Like you can give any idea possible, and someone might just be willing to, go halves with you or help you in one way or another, and then it could just, boom. So I feel like that helped. But now podcast, reading, I think that helps even more. And just more than anything, I think just communicating with your own team. I think they've shown me how to be a good leader as well, based on what they need.
Oh, that's huge. And do you think that, going to school, I know you said you learned a lot from the clubs and stuff like that, but do you think going to school is a necessity for business, or do you think that it helped you, but, you would have figured out either way because you already have that like initiative you would have taken by yourself?
Yeah, I would say school is it's not necessary. However, we're so small when we graduate high school. So I feel like it was almost just like, I just kind of had to like wait those 4 years and really develop like the self-confidence, really. I did actually move away for college. So I think that helped as well, just because I met so much more people and really got to know myself better without my family around me so much. So I would say college is just important in terms of like the social work you do.
Right.
I think that's what can help you a lot, you can benefit from. But in terms of like, especially business, I would say if you're going to become a doctor, absolutely go to college. Obviously, there's no other way around it. But in terms of business, no. I would say you can pay courses, you can just meet people in general, and you can learn way more.
So what are you doing now for like you're continuing like marketing or not marketing, you're networking, like in terms of like that for you? Like what does your social like environment look like?
You know what? I'm definitely, I feel like I'm at a year where I'm definitely looking to expand that. My siblings are also entrepreneurs. My sister's my business partner. But my brother definitely has helped a lot, just because he pretty much like started in 2021. I want to say his business, and it has like skyrocketed. So seeing him and having like business conversations with him definitely helps a lot. But that is definitely my goal this year. I feel like to really collaborate and just meet more entrepreneurs that are doing way better than me, just so I can really learn. But I would say in general, podcasts always help. And again, reading, I read a lot, and I always try to read like biographies or stuff from different people that were leaders or were business owners.
That's awesome. So is your brother younger or older than you?
He's younger.
All right. Yeah. So what is he doing?
So he actually has a hand railing business. It kind of like goes close to like what my dad does, because we do custom iron work. But he just he pretty much makes and ships handrails. Okay. So when someone's walking down like the stairs and stuff like that, he makes the railing for it. And he ships all over the world.
That's crazy, because like there's businesses everywhere, and like in just your daily life of like, walking around seeing things like from tables to handrails to, gates, like there's so many different things. And as long as you keep your eyes open, and stuff like that, and you're aware of what people are doing, it's like obviously him seeing your dad and what he does, and then taking that basically his own niche and his own route is allowed him to create his own opportunity, right? So I think that's huge. And then him seeing you and your sister do your own path has probably paved a better way for him to make his own path.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So does he come to you guys for advice and stuff, or is he kind of like, I'm doing this on my own, leave me alone?
No, you know what? I actually help him. I feel like we're all kind of like intertwined together. I do payroll for him now too, and I try to help him as much as possible. But I say no, when we have like talks together, I think we all kind of help each other out. I feel like my older sister, she helps just because she has that experience from just being older and seeing more in general over the years. Because truly, I feel like whether you like it or not, being the eldest, you do learn a lot more and you just have more experience. I went like the school route, and I also went like the Christ route. I definitely became Christian, and I feel like that also like plays a big part in the person I am and the leader I am. So I feel like I can also help them in terms of that. And then my brother also is very savvy in terms of, in terms of like listening to podcasts, I say. So he's always like sharing stuff with me, which I really enjoy. And then I don't know what it is, but something in his generation, I feel like all his friends are entrepreneurs. which is really cool. So he definitely has like a bigger, a bigger group in general that does kind of help him out. And so they give him tips, and then he's always like relays those tips to us too.
That's cool. And then, I mean, his circle kind of expands into your guys' circle, just vicariously through his interactions. But I have noticed like over the last few years, like there are a lot more entrepreneurs, which is great.
Yeah.
The one thing I think that can be like a miss, like contraception, is that like entrepreneurship is easy, but it's fun. And it's one of those things where it is fun. And there are times that are easy, but there are a lot more times that are not easy.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like I heard a metaphor the other day. It was basically like, imagine when you have like employees. Your employees look at you as like the business owner, the entrepreneur, right? Like a kid will look at their parents, right? They don't understand why they're doing what they're doing or what they're doing, but they're judging everything that they get judged for. So everything that's wrong in the eyes of your employees, your staff, you're doing it for a reason. Like you want to do the best, and whether it's right or wrong, like you're the one that gets the judgment, right?
Yeah.
But as long as you can tough through the tough times and push through all those things, it's one of those things where entrepreneurship, getting to see, like you said, your team grow, getting to see other, your brother, your sister, everyone else, succeed, it can be super rewarding, right?
100%, yeah.
So the one thing I have to ask though is like, having a business partner is already tough, right?
Yeah.
I have two brothers myself.
Okay.
How is it having your siblings, your business partners, or in that dynamic? Like, do you guys butt heads more than,
normal?
Yeah.
I'd say, you know what, we have such a good relationship, but again, this didn't just happen out of nowhere. I think we had to really put in the work. My sister and I started working together again at my dad's business when I first came out of college. So we had like 2 years of just working for someone else pretty much. I'd say before we started our own thing. And we bumped heads, oh my gosh, day and night, like siblings do. Like, it's like, there's certain things you can say to an employee, but there's also like, when it comes to siblings, I mean, it's just foul. Like we say way more things, but I think we just truly, we focus on our strengths now. So I feel like I really just let her lead with what she does best. And same thing with me. She definitely like sees what I do better and she allows me to do that. And then more than anything, I mean, we just really try not to argue, because I mean, we've just learned in general, there's no need to just like bicker about things that have like happened already, but we kind of just like let them happen and we're like, okay, move on to the next sort of thing. And I feel like my dad has a lot to do with that, just because in general, he's never been one to like scream at you or to like, I don't know, just make you feel bad when you do something wrong. He's just like, okay, like I understand, like let's do better next time.
So do you think that, just like you said, it's not like you necessarily needed school to become an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Those 4 years are huge in your development, like mentally, and everything like that. Do you think that as you guys, mature and get older, that understanding of like, look, I'm good at these roles, you're good at these roles, like there's no point in arguing, like let's just stick to our thing and just do our thing. Yeah. Do you think that has eased as you guys have gotten older, as the years go on in your businesses?
Oh, 100%. I feel like every year we get better. Every year we stop pretty much like overshadowing or trying to like look over what they're doing, and we kind of just focus on what we're doing best and how to grow our side of the company, or pretty much like our responsibility. So yeah, we just get better and better, truly.
No, that's nice. So do you, for your guys' next business or for the gym, do you guys always plan to be business partners, with each other? Is that like an agreement you guys have? Like, I know for me and my business partner, like, it's one of those things where that's just what we kind of established. Like, whether it's me doing the podcast thing, like he's still here, whether he's here or not, right? Okay. So that's just my dynamic. But with like yourself and your brother and your sister, do you guys have different ventures that you guys are working on together? Or how does that really work out or play with you guys?
So I say with my sister, I think truly we just have like really good qualities that just help each other. I feel like, how do you say it? They complement each other. That's what it is. So yeah, they complement each other really well. So I feel like whatever business it is that we do go to, we could work really well together. And we also are just very close in general. I mean, I can live with her. I can do anything with her. We really just understand each other so well. And again, we have built this mutual respect that just, I don't think anything can really break it to this, like at this point. So I'm more than looking forward to, opening more business.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And with my brother too. Yeah.
No, honestly, I think your brother, getting into the entrepreneurial space, he has his own way to go. I feel not that, you guys won't grow together, but you and your sister have worked together on like the restaurant, and you guys have created like that team already. So I feel that even with you guys, pairing up with him, I feel like he's going to want to naturally like be his own, person, which isn't to say that, again, like how you're doing his payroll and stuff, you guys won't intertwine, but I feel like that, whether it's brother, sister, or however that dynamic works, I feel like there's going to be always that little like, him wanting to do his own thing, which is cool though, because then you get to see him and help him and all that kind of stuff. In terms of, your next business, then what's next for you? I know you have talked about the coffee shop, and you talked about like the next location, you have your gym. So what's next? Like, do you have anything for 2024?
So in terms of 2024, I feel like, with the pandemic, with everything that's happened, I feel like it's almost been like I was in survival for so long. And then I even took some time to just kind of like escape everything and just be like, okay, I don't have to be on the clock 24/7. I could actually leave, whether it's go on vacation or just like have fun by myself or take a walk, honestly. Because it was really to a point where it was like, I was on the clock 24/7. Like I could not let go of one of my business phones because it's like someone needs me and I have to be there.
Right.
So I feel like I did take that time off, and now, this year, I feel like more than anything before I even jump into new business ventures, I want to make sure to not only like stabilize my businesses, but really grow them. Just because I do have wonderful employees that I want to see succeed even more, truly. Like I want more money, not only in my pocket, but truly in theirs as well. So I'd say in terms of the gym, my sister and I actually have gym wear that we're launching. So we're really excited about that. Oh my gosh, it was the hardest thing ever. But again, we're so picky with our stuff and we know what we like. And thankfully we both like the same thing when it comes to like quality and really good work. So we we made sweats, but from scratch. We didn't want bling. So we literally made sweats from scratch. And now we're really excited. We're going to sell those. And then, I have, I believe, one more year here, but I want to expand. I want to have a bigger location. I would truly, truly want a bigger gym and even a coffee shop with a gym. I think that would even work better, so I don't have to have two locations. And then in terms of the restaurant, yes, I am 4 years into running this restaurant and it's been great. And I am looking for another location. I'm super excited about that. And I know I have a good team of people that are going to help me grow that as well. So I'm excited for that too.
No, I saw the gym wear, and I did see that, it's not blanks. It did look like stuff from scratch, and it did look nice from the pictures that I saw. Which is hard because, girls like, clothes, especially in fitness, it's tough, and obviously I don't wear that, so I'm not really sure, but like with you, you know what you like and you know what good quality is and not, but having to make your own from scratch, like I commend you for that.
Thank you. A lot of money.
But honestly, that it's a huge market, right?
Yeah.
And people that work out don't work out, like they want to look good, they want to feel good, and then if it honestly if it's good for working out and it's not see-through, all that kind of stuff, it just sells. It sells itself pretty much, right? You have loyal customers once they wear it once, and those pants or that shirt just fits the way they want. Well,
exactly.
So if you had to give either yourself or let's say your brother or one of his friends or a young entrepreneur, just coming into the game, what is that one piece of advice that you could give someone, that you've learned through your extensive career already being an entrepreneur and seeing your parents go through it?
I say simply put, just show up. Truly. Like it is show up no matter what. Whether you want to, whether you don't, whether it's a hard day, whether it's going to be an easy day where you think they know they don't need you, show up. That is the most important thing that I've learned, truly.
Oh. Yeah. And that's as easy as it's said, that is not always the easiest
No, it
thing.
isn't.
So that is huge. Honestly, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out today. I know you have a busy schedule and, we had this scheduled for, weeks ago.
Yeah.
So honestly, I truly thank you so much. And I can't wait to see what you have for, planned for 2024.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And as always, guys, make sure you guys share the show, leave a review. Like always, appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Talk to you soon.